A room the size of a closet. A bed bolted to the wall. The door stays unlocked. This is where the captain of a $13 billion warship sleeps while commanding 5,000 people and 75 fighter jets in the middle of the ocean. Most people think captains live like kings at sea, private chefs, luxury quarters, but the truth is stranger and harder than that. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how these commanders actually survive aboard these floating fortresses, how they sleep, how they eat, how they lead, when the pressure never stops. Now here is what you have to know. The captain doesn't have one cabin. He has two. And the reason why will tell you everything you need to know about this life. The first is the sea cabin. It's extremely small, just a bunk bolted to the wall, a desk, and basic bathroom facilities. It's tucked directly behind the navigation bridge, inside the island, the towering structure rising from the flight deck. No decorations, no extra space, the walls are steel. You hear everything. Jets roaring and machinery humming through the night. This is where the captain lives when the carrier is underway. Not the bigger cabin, because when you're commanding a vessel the size of 3 football fields, moving at over 30 knots through the ocean, every second counts. If an emergency happens, the captain can be on the bridge in less than 10 seconds. That's not convenience. That's necessity. Now the second cabin is completely different, and it's called the in-port cabin, a separate bedroom, a sitting room that doubles as an office, nicer bathroom facilities. This is where the captain conducts official business, where he hosts visiting admirals, foreign dignitaries, and senior officers from other ships. On the USS Gerald R. Ford, it even includes items from President Ford's family. The in-port cabin reflects the prestige of command. It's where diplomacy happens, where the captain can spread out paperwork and plan operations without interruption. But here's what's interesting. When the ship is operating, the captain barely uses this room. He stays in that cramped sea cabin instead, because being 30 feet from the bridge beats sleeping comfortably every single time. Compare that to the rest of the crew. Regular sailors sleep in rooms with 8 to 12 people, bunks stacked 3 high. You roll over, you hit the person above you. Officers get a bit more space, maybe sharing with 2 or 3 people, but it's still tight. Yes, the captain gets the best room on the ship, but he's also carrying weight nobody else does. Here's the surprising part. There's no such thing as a typical day. The captain never clocks out. Even when he's asleep in that tiny cabin, he's still on duty. Alarms go off without warning. Planes launch and land 24 hours a day. The ship keeps moving, and the captain's job keeps going. Most days start before sunrise. The captain is already up, reading reports from the night shift. He reviews weather forecasts, checks the flight schedule, reads intelligence briefings. Then the meetings begin. Every department head comes through with updates. Aviation, engineering, weapons, supply, medical. Equipment problems get flagged. Crew issues surface. Upcoming missions are discussed. The captain processes all of it. Then there's the bridge. The captain spends a significant part of his day there, overseeing the ship's movement, monitoring surrounding vessels, and coordinating with the carrier strike group. He's not steering the ship himself. That's the job of the helmsman and the officer of the deck, but he makes every major decision about where the carrier goes and how fast it gets there. Flight operations are the most dangerous part. Launching jets and bringing them back safely is one of the riskiest things the military does. Planes accelerate from 0 to 150 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. Pilots land on a moving deck, often in complete darkness. One mistake, and people die. The air boss runs the flight deck, but if something goes wrong, the captain answers for it. It's his command. Between flight operations, the captain deals with endless administrative work. Performance evaluations, promotion recommendations, disciplinary actions, budget reviews. The paperwork never stops. And here's the thing. All of this happens while the captain is also tracking threats. Submarines below the surface. Unidentified aircraft in the area. Ships that may be hostile. The ocean is never truly safe, and the captain must stay ahead of whatever might go wrong. Eating happens fast. The captain grabs meals in his cabin or joins senior officers in the wardroom. There's no time for long dinners. Food is fuel, nothing more. Sleep comes in short bursts, maybe 5 or 6 hours if things stay quiet, usually less. The ship the captain commands is an engineering marvel. The USS Gerald R. Ford cost $13 billion. It stretches over 1,000 feet long. It displaces 100,000 tons when fully loaded. It's powered by nuclear reactors that can run for decades without refueling. The ship can circle the globe without stopping for fuel. It produces 400,000 gallons of fresh water every single day through desalination. The carrier holds 75 aircraft, fighters, helicopters, and surveillance planes, all operating from a flight deck barely longer than 3 football fields. Inside, the carrier is a maze, 11 levels below the flight deck, narrow passageways, hatches every few feet. The temperature changes dramatically depending on where you are. Near the reactors, it's sweltering. Near the outer hull, it can be freezing. The captain's cabin is quieter than most spaces, but you still hear the ship working. It creaks under stress, groans as it moves. You feel the ocean beneath you, even inside this massive vessel. Bad weather tosses even a carrier of this size around. The captain learns to sleep through it because there's no other choice. The weight of command is absolute. The captain is responsible for everything. If a sailor makes a mistake, it's the captain's responsibility. If a plane crashes, the captain answers for it. If the ship runs aground, the captain is relieved of command. There is no passing the buck. Sleep deprivation is constant. The captain can't turn off his mind. Even in that cramped sea cabin, he's listening for alarms, waiting for the knock on the door that means something has gone wrong. The stress never stops. Then there's the isolation. The captain can't be friends with the crew. He can't show weakness. He can't confide in anyone aboard. He makes life and death decisions alone. He signs orders sending pilots into combat, knowing some may not return. That burden is crushing. Family life suffers. Deployments mean months away from home. No port calls, missed birthdays, missed anniversaries, missed everyday moments. Divorce rates among senior naval officers are high. The job demands everything, and there's always the possibility of catastrophe. Fire, collision, enemy attack, mechanical failure. Any of these can happen without warning, and the captain must be ready to respond instantly. There's no room for error. The ship, the crew, the mission. Everything depends on his judgment. Yet despite all of this, captains volunteer for the job. Because commanding an aircraft carrier isn't just a job, it's a calling. Only 11 of these commands exist in the entire United States Navy. Being selected is one of the highest honors in military service. By the time someone reaches this position, they're usually in their late 40s or early 50s. They've spent 25 to 30 years in uniform. They've flown in combat zones. They've lost people they cared about. They've earned respect through decades of proving themselves. Commanding an aircraft carrier is the pinnacle of a naval career. A life of sacrifice, responsibility, relentless pressure, 2 small cabins, endless duty, the weight of 5,000 lives. That's how captains sleep, eat, and lead aboard massive aircraft carriers, and they wouldn't have it any other way.